Hey everyone. So in this video we are going to solve the two-sum problem on Leetcode. So the question is we are given an array of integers nums and a target, and we have to return the indices of those two numbers that when add up results the target 9. So let's see how we can do this. So in this example we have 2, 7, 11, 15 and a target of 9. So in this case the output will be 0, 1. Why? Because 2 and 7 when add up it will result 9, and 2 is at 0 index and 7 it is at 1 index. So 0, 1 will be the result. Now the first way to achieve this is to use two for loops. So let's say if we are at element 2 or index 0, what we can do, we can run another loop from 7 to the rest of the array, and on traversing each of the element we'll check if adding any one of these elements to 2 will result 9. If so, then we'll return the indices of those two elements. So let's see how that two for loop solution will look like. So this is what the two for loop solution will look like. We'll start the loop from 0 to length of the array nums, and the other loop from I plus 1 to length of the array nums. And for each iteration, we'll check if nums at I plus nums at j is equal to the target. If it is true, we'll just return the indices I comma j. So this one will work, but it will have O of n square time complexity and O of 1 of space complexity, which is not very good. So we'll check one another way to achieve the same thing. Now the other way or the faster way to achieve the same thing will be to use a hash table or a map data structure in JavaScript. So what we'll do, first we'll get the index. So initially our index will be 0, and num, that will be a number at this particular index. So at 0 we have 2. So for this particular example, let's say our target is not 9, our target is 13. Okay, so our required number that we need to check, if 2 is our first number, and the required number will be target minus num, which will be 13 minus 2, 11. So 11 is not in our hash table, so we'll just add 2 in our hash table. Next we'll have the index 1, and the number at index 1 is 7. So we'll check if target minus num, that is 13 minus 7, which is 6, is in our hash table. No, it's not. So what we'll do, we'll just add 7 and the index 1 to it. So next will be the index 2 and the num will be 11. So we'll check if target minus num, that is 13 minus 11, which is equal to 2. We'll check if 2 is in our hash table. Yes, it is. So we'll return the index, our current index, that is 2, comma, the index that we stored in our hash table for 2. For 2 we have stored 0. So the output will be 2, 0. So this will be a faster way, and time complexity for this one will be O of n, and the space complexity will also be O of n. Why? Because we are storing each of these number and their indexes in the hash table. So let's see how will this solution look like. So let's try this second approach as well. So first we'll initialize our map. Yeah, let's call it nums map using new map. Then we'll start a loop from, let's say, index 0 to index less than nums dot length, and index plus plus. So as we see in the example, first we need to get the value of num, which will be nums at idx, the number at our current index, Next, we need the required num, which will get using target minus num. Now we need to check if this required num exists in our nums map or not. So let's write an if condition for it. If nums map dot has required num. So if this condition is true, we'll just return our current index and the index of required num, which is stored in our nums map. How we'll get this? We'll get this using nums map dot get required num. It will return us the index of this required num number. Else, if this required num number doesn't exist in our nums map data structure, we'll just add it to it. So we'll add nums map dot set our current number, which is num, and its current index, that is idx. So if we'll run this, yeah, it's working. So this one will have time complexity of O of n and space complexity as well of O of n. So that was it for this video. Thank you for watching.